Squash is an anaerobic sport which is played at 100 miles an hour. That's what you feel like when you're on court.
I know it's been described as physical chess.
No, squash actually originated in the prisons. It was played in the dungeons with tennis rackets. And then in 1830, Harrow created it as a sport and included it as part of their regular curriculum.
Earlier, people played in those cement courts, which were, which had a door at the back. Over the years, it evolved, and you had a glass back to kind of allow people to view what was happening. And now we have what we have behind us. Once the glass court came into being, it was very clear that the game was going to be very different because you could actually observe movement in a different way. You could observe the way the ball moved in a different way.
The reason why squash is sort of not got the right sponsorship or not got the right publicity or the right awareness is because it's played in four walls and it's very difficult for people to understand and it's not a good showcase. But what these four-wall glass courts have done is really taken squash to the next level and people can now sit and enjoy it. There's viewership, there are more sponsors coming.
Yeah, the glass court is definitely a better spectacle for the spectators, and I think it also shows the true quality of a squash player to be able to play on that court. It's much tougher to play on the glass than it is on a traditional court, but I think the guys in the top echelons of the game would prefer to play on the glass as much as they can because it gives you good reward for good shot making, both at the back and the front of the court.
If you play a nice drop shot, your opponent really has to run fast to get it, whereas sometimes if it's very hot on a normal court, then it can become quite risky to play those short shots, so it gets a bit less exciting.
JSW was absolutely fantastic in coming forth.
This is the third year where we've had bigger events, and now we've got the glass court for the first time. So we've been talking to a lot of corporates, a lot of companies to try and grow and make this bigger, but they really never had the vision of what is possible with the glass court.
Yeah, the Indian squash circuit is a great event and it's a great series of events. It shows the sport in India more, and I think this is the first time for a glass court to be put in a cricket field, and I think it's better for the game and it's better for the squash in India. And in India, it's a big squash country, so to play here, it's like kind of history for us.
The Indian squash circuit is fantastic. I've played in Chennai, in Delhi and in Calcutta now, and this is my first time to Mumbai. I think there's a lot of good squash players in India, and with Saurav and Deepika and Joshna sort of spearheading the country on the world stage, it's great to have big tournaments here.
I think it's great for the really young kids to kind of see the level of squash that they need to aspire to be able to make the grade on the professional circuit. I think it's like a gold mine for them, like they don't get to see the top players in action all the time, and you've got top 20 players here who are all playing really, really good squash over the last year and a half, and for them to be able to see that level of squash is unbelievable.
I love to watch the matches and
I love
experiencing them.
to watch matches.
Same here.
Like in CCI, we all fight to play in this court. We are like, we
We
get
don't get a
chucked out.
chance to play.
Yeah, but sometimes we do.
But no one has done this, for squash. No one has done this for players like me when I was playing. Platform like this is needed for them to go from an amateur player to the professional level. And if Egypt can do it, if Pakistan can do it, and India can do it.
I think the Egyptian players are more like risk takers than other players because we have that kind of culture in our country. Like we just go for it in life, not just in squash. So I think it reflects how we are in life on the squash court. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Our country is so success oriented, when just enjoying something without it being productive for you is looked down upon. And that mentality has to change. People have to do things because they love doing it, and then everything will fall into place. And if I'm or we are a poster for that, then I'll be happy.
If I was to think about the next destination or location for a four-wall glass court, I would say it should be the Taj Mahal.
In front of the Opera House in Sydney.
On a lake.
Anywhere, I suppose. Wherever squash is loved.